two videos today. One is the top 5 wide receivers, the other is the top 5 tight ends. Let's get right into the wide receivers. Let's start off with Calvin Ridley, who is the top receiver in this draft. He's got consistent speed. That's a good thing to have in a receiver, because you don't want to have somebody with inconsistent speed that might get to the ball one play and might not get it to it another if you're throwing the deep ball. That's a good thing to have. Hands. Hands are very important for a wide receiver. If they don't have good hands, they're not going to make it in this league, and he's got good hands. And in the open space, he's dangerous. Now, some weaknesses. The combine. He didn't show explosion like you want to see out of a receiver. The drills, not so well. He did do good on the 40, but the other drills, not so much. He's thin, and he might not be able to get any bigger. You don't want a wide receiver too thin. You want them to be able to bulk up a little bit so they can take the hits. Can he take the hits? That's the question. All right, let's go on to my favorite receiver in this draft, DJ Moore. And it's not because he's from Maryland. It's because stats with quarterback play. You got to remember something. He played with 3 quarterbacks the year before and 4 quarterbacks this year. And he still had 80 catches for 1,000 yards this year. That is impressive. Size and speed. At the combine, he measured in at 6 foot. People thought he was going to be 5'10" or lower. 6 foot, really good size for a wide receiver. And speed, he ran a 4.4. Really good speed. And he's also quick. You take a look at some highlights at Maryland, he's very quick. He can get out of the jam right away. And some cons, route running, he needs to work on that. Alright, I did see him play at Maryland, and he did have inconsistent route running, so he needs to work on that. 50-50 balls, he needs to work on that. Not the completion percentage that you want to see with 50-50 balls being thrown to him. Has to be more competitive on those. And he's also slow on breaks. He slows down when he's coming out of breaks. He needs to work on maintaining that speed when he's getting out of breaks. Let's move on to Christian Kirk from Texas A&M. He has great overall strength. He'll be able to take the hits and still get back up. He's quick on his breaks. What that means is, as opposed to DJ Moore, he's able to maintain the quickness and speed in his breaks. That way, when he comes out of them, he can outrun that defender. And his hands, that initial burst, it's not what you want it to be. And that can lead to problems in the NFL, where corners are faster and the recovery speed is better. And in tight coverage, he needs to work on being able to get separation or being able to make a tough catch while in tight coverage. Courtland Southern from SMU has a big frame. He's like 6'3", 6'4". That is really good to have. And he's got some weight on that too. So that's really good. He's got the frame already to be a red zone threat in this league. Working back to the football, that's a big deal. He's able to come out of a break, find the ball, and just try to locate the best place to catch that football. And he's also a really good blocker. Wide receivers today have to be good blockers when running backs are coming outside. That's really good for him and for the team that drafts him. Some things that have to be worked on is play speed. He has to get that up. He needs to start playing faster. Separation burst. He needs to have a separation burst with tight coverage so he'll be able to get open on deep routes. And ball skills. He needs to work on that. With ball skills, it's especially important for a wide receiver for you to turn, locate the football, and catch it. He needs to work on that. Just like with running backs and quarterbacks, we have a tie for number 5. I'll start off with Anthony Miller from Memphis. He accelerates coming out of his cuts. That is really good. For you to make a cut and then just accelerate, get back to the speed that you were before you made that cut, really good. He can do inside or out, as in he can play slot or he can play outside. That's very good to have when you're a wide receiver. That shows teams it doesn't matter where they put you. And he's effective at all 3 levels. So he's good on the short, intermediate, and deep routes. Again, really good to have for a wide receiver. His hands and ball security need to be worked on. He needs to work on catching the ball cleanly, and he needs to work on holding the ball once he does catch it. DJ Clark from LSU. He has size and speed. He's pretty much what you're looking for in today's NFL receiver. He's also a returner. Again, it's great when a player has versatility to play on special teams. And he's also a really good blocker. Again, when you are a blocker, that means teams can trust you when they're going outside. Now, his production. It's not what you want it to be. At LSU, he wasn't very productive. He's upright on his routes. He's not bending his knees when he shouldn't be. because there are times when you do have to bend your knees, like when you're on a break or when you're cutting, you have to be able to bend your knees. You're upright, you're putting your knees in very dangerous spots. And tracking the football. He needs to work on tracking the football on the deep routes or any other routes. Alright, when you're tracking the football, that means that you either have a chance to make a catch or have a chance to knock the ball away from the defender if you don't have a chance. He has the tools to be a good receiver, but it's those little things that he needs to work on. Alright guys, so those were the top 5 wide receivers, and later on you'll see the top 5 tight ends. Actually, I'm going to post that as soon as I post this one. So if you're watching this, the tight ends is probably already up. I'll see you then.